I happened to work on projects where we were upcycling factory waste, and we created an eco-conscious brand by the name of Use Me Works.
We respect the planet because we mostly work with upcycled materials, saris and other materials as well.
हम यूरोप गए घूमने और इतनी गर्मी थी वहाँ पे कि हम कहते रहते हैं कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग आएगा आएगा आएगा. इट इज़ हियर, इट्स नाउ. तो जब मैं वापस आई तो मैंने एक्चुअली गूगल किया ऑल्टरनेटिव टू लेदर और इतने सारे मटेरियल्स रिसर्च मेरे सामने आए जो मैंने कहा ठीक है चलो देन लेट मी स्टार्ट. और बस यहीं से बीच की शुरुआत हुई है.
Which in Sanskrit means second life. So essentially we are giving second life to the used jeans here.
So we started with jewelry and upcycling and all these kachi patches. So from that we usually create jewelry, jackets.
The first season of Clothes with a Conscience aimed to raise awareness around the detrimental effects of fast fashion and how people perceive and engage with fashion. As sustainability and ethical practices continue to gain prominence in various industries, the fashion world is no exception. We talked about the environmental and social impact of the fashion industry while showcasing sustainable alternatives. Many of those sustainable alternatives, designers and brands creating contemporary pieces of fashion from pre-loved clothes, are available on a single platform. Today, we talk about that platform that's creating the space for sustainability. The need for textile upcycling is becoming increasingly apparent due to the alarming environmental challenges we face. The fashion industry in particular has a significant impact on our planet, contributing to pollution, waste generation, and depletion of resources. Upcycling is one way of addressing these issues because upcycling diverts textiles and textile waste from landfills. And that was the idea behind Refash, a platform for upcycled fashion. It was at an upcycling workshop that Akanksha even got the idea.
The designer had asked us to bring in a couple of garments from our wardrobe, which we hadn't worn in a very long time. So I took out 2-3 pieces and I went for the workshop, and during that hour-long workshop, the designer basically helped us tweak those garments and make it into something new. And an hour later, I walked out with 2 new things to wear. And it was such an aha moment for me. And then I spent a lot more time researching and understanding what's happening in the space of upcycling and sustainability. And I realized that globally, as well as in India, there were actually a lot of brands who were creating products made out of pre-loved materials, whether it was post-consumer or post-industrial waste. But what was missing was a platform that would bring all of it together, and also for a consumer to know about it, for a platform to actually cover everything, right from upcycled apparel to jewelry, footwear.
By using existing materials, upcycled clothing reduces the amount of waste that would otherwise end up in landfills or incinerators. It also reduces the demand for new raw materials such as water, energy, or natural fibers. And that was the idea behind Refash, to focus on the environmental benefits of choosing upcycled clothing over conventional options.
All have kind of just normalized the fact that we live around landfills, in our cities. That is where you see the impact. You see, that a piece of garment that was possibly headed to the landfill gets diverted through the craft of upcycling and gets a new lease of life. So, especially like a material like polyester, which actually is not a natural fiber and hence might not, takes much longer to biodegrade, even up to 200 years, and ends up polluting our oceans and our land. So materials like that and overall just materials end up getting diverted and are given a new lease of life. So that's the biggest benefit of upcycling. And also you're using resources and materials that have already been created, so already been manufactured. So you're giving them a second lease of life. So that is an additional benefit where you're not using new energy and new resources.
There's a specific criteria that Refash follows in selecting brands for the platform.
So for we have a detailed conversation with every brand that we onboard on our website, and if the brand is in the city that that one of our team members is in, so they go to the brand and see the studio and see the entire process that the brand follows. We have a detailed questionnaire, and we ask them each and every question about where they're sourcing the raw materials from, who are their suppliers, if it's post-consumer, post-industrial waste, where are they getting the waste from, how are they checking the quality of the product.
Sensitization and awareness are key. And how can that be done? Through workshops. Refash often conducts workshops on how to upcycle one's belongings and make the best out of waste. These workshops are conducted to achieve maximum reach and impact and to influence behavior across generations.
So this is a very, very big part of our work, because it's not just about propagating, to shop upcycled products. It's actually about educating customers about why is there a need to talk about and to adopt sustainable practices, and also then, among all of that, it comes upcycling. So we basically have a very active blog on our website through which we basically talk about sustainable practices. We always have some kind of interaction where the designer comes in and talks about their story, the story of each garment, and educates the customers. And also sometimes it's just an upcycling workshop. There was one Christmas where we did with old newspapers. We block printed on old newspapers, and we created gift wrapping sheets, which people could use to wrap their Christmas presents. So those are finer ways in which we introduce the concept of upcycling to larger audiences.
Another initiative by Refash is their Take Me Back program. Customers can send them the clothes they don't wear anymore. These clothes are then sorted and checked for quality and then shared with the brands working with Refash. In return, the customers can get a repair kit, which has needles and buttons so they can repair their own garments. Akanksha has brought the garments received from the Take Me Back program to Mehak, who runs a label called WeAreLabeless. This is a brand using pre-loved clothes to make new products.
Being in fashion industry, everybody thinks that it's a very glamorous world. Everything is glittery, shimmers and all. But once you are there, deep inside, you understand the problems fashion industry has. And to be honest, wastage was the biggest problem. Looking at all of the things that were happening, landfills, Rana Plaza tragedy, all of these things, when we got to know about it, and the more we'd get to know about it, the more grimmer the reality came into view for us. And we realized that we did not want to be the other two designers doing the same thing, contributing to the waste that was already being generated, being a part of the problem. We wanted to do something better. We wanted it to be rewarding for us as well as for the planet. And hence, Labelless came into being.
What started as a blog during college days turned into a brand when Mehak and her business partner Pallavi realized that only talking about the problem won't fix it.
Like it says, we are labelless. We did not want to put any labels onto ourselves. I did not want to be the designer or the person who was making the clothes for me to be the tailor, or the embroidery ladies to be the embroider, because being in this process, we realized that these people have much more knowledge than we do. They've been our tailors have been in the industry for 40 years. I wasn't even born back then, and I can't be I am the person who's creating it. Mine is just an idea. Everybody has an idea, but the person who executes it and makes it into the product it is the person who's designing it in the whole sense.
The smallest of cloth scraps from cutting clothes can add to the problem. At WeAreLabeless, the workers follow a no-waste policy where even the tiniest of thread is put to some use.
As a business person, whenever I see these smaller shreds, I think of it as money. But if I talk about it in terms of somebody who cares for the planet, when I look at all of these smaller pieces, I look at it, instead of throwing it away, I'm giving new life to these products. Hence, this is one of the very, very strong principles we work with. We have a very strong zero waste policy. We do not waste even a smaller shred of thread. That also goes into the stuffing. Something that's even small as cannot be used, that goes into the stuffing of our earrings or something. So honestly, nothing really goes to waste here.
WeAreLabeless get the most of the pre-loved clothes and raw material from the customers and local market. Once the clothes reach the workshop, they're segregated according to size and color. Once separated, the clothes get a good cleaning. Then the workers set to work on them, turning them into bags, accessories and other outfits. Over time, they've received all manner of clothing for upcycling. Perhaps the most unique was a lehenga that was 70 years old.
One of our clients sent us a 70-year-old lehenga. It was from a great-grandmother. 70 years back, she got married and she wore this really gorgeous lehenga, which was purely made out of silver, like silver thread and silver embellishments. There was 2 kg of silver in it, and she did not know what to do with it. And she'd seen our work, so she knew that we could be able to do something about it. Once we got that lehenga here, we realized that it was the fabric was almost in that state where if you just push it a little, like you just pluck it and everything would just fall apart. The entire team of 5 people, we sat together. We cleaned each and every embellishment on the lehenga because we realized 70 years back there was no concept of fusing or binding things together. They put gum on the embroidery to keep it on one place and then do the embroidery. Like the threads were hanging, there was gum everywhere, and we couldn't even send it to the dry cleaner to dry clean it. It took us more than a week to clean the entire thing, then cut the smaller pieces and then put them on a version new fabric and create something new out of it. It was a very hectic process, took us almost 2 months, but the outcome was something we were just in awe of.
After the break, we meet 2 entrepreneurs saving thousands of liters of water by giving a conscience to old denim. Denim. We all wear it, we've all grown up with it, and we all love it. It's style and comfort, young and old. Informal and formal, all at once. Denim is widely used in the fashion industry and has become a global fashion staple. However, the production of denim garments, right from growing the cotton for it to the dyeing and finishing processes, takes a significant toll on the environment. It takes around 1,000 liters of water to grow the cotton needed for a pair of jeans, and another 50 liters for that faded texture. When a pair of jeans is thrown away, it just adds to the waste load of landfills. That waste load of jeans was a huge bother for Pooja Malhotra and Prerna Anand. So much so that they both left comfortable jobs of almost 20 years to start the social enterprise Rejean.
I'm Pooja Malhotra and I'm one of the founders of Rejean. Before this, I was in the advertising industry for over 20 years. मैं पढ़ाती भी हूँ भी schools में कभी-कभी marketing और advertising related subjects. But हमेशा से हम चाहते थे मैं और मेरी partner कुछ अपना शुरू करने का. जब हमने अपने आसपास देखा कितना waste है, कितना environment issues भी हो रहे हैं और तब हमें लगा कि कुछ इस area में हमें करना चाहिए.
So the inspiration behind Rejean was actually my little son Satvik. उसके स्कूल से एक रिक्वायरमेंट थी कि जो स्कूल बैग्स रहेंगे वो कपड़े के होने चाहिए and preferably recycled or upcycled. So we thought a lot and I took out an old pair of denim जिससे उसका पहला बैग बना. वो बैग जो बना वही शायद Rejean की कहीं शुरुआत थी and starting from there now we are into a lot of upcycled denim accessories.
It was not easy to give up full-time jobs after working for 2 decades. To suddenly leave it all and start a new brand, that too in a competitive environment with other brands doing the same work, wasn't the easiest. But Pooja and Prerna didn't give up and managed to break through the clutter.
Initially, the challenge really was to find the right kind of tailors who we can work with. नए फ्रेश कपड़े से कोई भी बना सकता है सामान, लेकिन वेस्ट से बनाना इतना आसान नहीं होता और हर टेलर ये करना भी नहीं चाहता. So to find tailors whose sensibilities matched ours was a challenge initially. तो काफ़ी ट्रायल एंड एरर्स हुए थे इनिशियली. दूसरा, अभी भी लोगों में अवेयरनेस उतनी नहीं है रिगार्डिंग रिसाइकलिंग एंड अपसाइकलिंग. हम रिसाइकल और अपसाइकल यूज़ करते हैं, बट दोनों बहुत अलग अलग हैं. हमको लोगों को ये समझाना कि ये अपसाइकल्ड है वॉज ऑल्सो अ चैलेंज इनिशियली, कि हम वेस्ट को यूज़ करके कुछ नया बना रहे हैं.
एक प्रोडक्ट डिलीवर हुआ था डाउन साउथ and the customer picked up our card and called us and उन्होंने बोला कि this has been one of the best upcycled products that it was a sling bag. He ordered a sling bag. Now he is also wanting to place an order with us at a corporate level. So वो एक बहुत अच्छी feeling थी जब customer reached out to us and gave us such a positive feedback.
Ramesh Chandra is the senior most Master G or Master Tailor and has been working with Rejean for 4 years. He's been principally responsible for ensuring that every piece of cloth and every scrap is put to good use.
मैं लैपटॉप के लिए बैग बनाता हूँ, टोट बैग बनाता हूँ, बच्चों के पाउच बनाता हूँ, स्कूल के लिए बच्चों के बनाता हूँ. और असल बात हमारी कंपनी की ये है, छोटा से छोटा कपड़ा उसको मैं वेस्टेज नहीं जाने देता हूँ. क्योंकि वेस्टेज जाने से क्या है कि वो इधर पड़ा उधर पड़ा, तो इससे पर्यावरण के लिए बहुत नुकसान है. हमारा ये प्रयास रहता है कि छोटे छोटे कपड़े को मैं कहीं ना कहीं यूज करूँ. अब मैं एक छोटा सा कतरन, मतलब इससे कटिंग करते टाइम पे छोटा सा कतरन निकल गया तो मैंने उसको ये बना के तैयार कर दिया. तो हमारा ये प्रयास रहता है.
It's Rejean's aim to reuse fabric which has been discarded or is a complete waste for factories. Most of the artisans working here have been employed from surrounding areas. Rejean is not only upcycling waste denims but is also keeping traditional art alive with the use of madhubani and different embroidery techniques on their products.
So since we are making products out of waste and the intent is to stop that fabric going to the landfill, हमने अब तक approximately 500 kilos plus कपड़ा सेव कर लिया होगा, क्योंकि हमने 500 kilos plus कपड़े से अभी तक products बना लिए हैं. शायद उससे ज़्यादा ही होगा. Other than that, we also are helping the local communities of artisans, of tailors. Plus, कुछ ऐसे crafts हैं हमारे, इंडिया में, जैसे कि मधुबनी आर्ट है, एम्ब्रॉयडरी है, पेंटिंग है, क्रोशे है. तो ये कुछ रीजनल क्राफ्ट्स हैं जो हम अपने प्रोडक्ट्स में इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं. एंड दैट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स इन कीपिंग दीज अलाइव.
There are a growing number of businesses that are working hard to revolutionize the fashion industry by developing sustainable alternatives while keeping ethical and sustainable concerns in mind. Truly, upcycling is the way ahead. It's time for all of us to become more aware and accepting of using upcycled products. We're all responsible for managing the waste that we generate. As environment conscious citizens, we all must do our part to protect the planet, because no one else will do it for us.